Welcome to this special mini-sode of my witch series. I decided before putting out Arc 5 material, I thought we should cover some of the special issues that I have not seen republished by Yen Press, and they are sort of important to this next incoming arc. So we're going to start with this one titled The Year Before, which takes place between chapters 12 and 13, and respectively that means between arc 1 and 2. The special is split into 5 parts, each telling about instances where the girls' powers were beginning to show themselves, or at least when magical things happened to them. Remember in arc 4 when they said the first time Cornelia realized her powers is when she brought a plant back to life? We saw that during the Chrysnelia vision. The special opens up with the usual prose of Kandrakar that sounds artsy, and this time it's just saying that it's going to show us the year before the girls became united, hence the title. We start with Will. The year before the girls are united, Will awakens to the radio playing mistakenly the radio waves from Heatherfield, and they're crossing into the radios of Fadden Hills. First, the radio says that the sun is shining in Heatherfield before it switches back to normal. We see Will and Susan preparing for the day. It's Will's first day back to school from summer, and Susan is hoping to hear about a promotion soon. A phone call comes in and seems to put Susan on edge. Whoever it is, they're looking for Will. Susan tells the caller that they are, quote, fine on their own. It's likely Will's dad, Thomas Vandam, his actual first mention in the comics. Remember, he becomes a huge plot point in Arc 2, which is just after this special. The car ride is tense as Susan can't let the call go, and she's shaken about Tom having their phone number. The radio again mentions Heatherfield. Will sees her current friends. One of them is named Lara. Lara is talking to 2 other girls, telling them to pretend nothing is wrong. A passing teacher tells them to hurry up, and Lara is scolded for using Will as an excuse. Quote, given her situation. Will hears the end of this and is confused. The other girls are annoyed. Will is suddenly able to hear Lara's thoughts, which is strange since that was always Tirani's thing. Lara doesn't like Will getting special treatment due to her parents' divorce. She continues to hear their thoughts, and they want nothing to do with her and hope to drop her. They are embarrassed by her. Will screams. We cut to later. Susan comforts Will, who is distraught by her friend's betrayal. Susan has purchased Will a cell phone. She likely did this in order to cut the landline as the house phone rings again, and does not stop as Will and Susan hug tightly, looking distraught. Susan says that she can relocate when she gets promoted. They ponder where. The radio chimes in, promoting Heatherfield. The year before Irma unites as a guardian, she is feeling sad that summer is ending and it's raining. We see Irma and her dad discussing boy trouble. She's upset, feeling ugly, and says she can't attract boys she actually likes. Apparently Martin called 4 times that day also. The advice her father gives is to follow her road, which is an awkward translation, and maybe it just means you'll find your path eventually. After the rain stops, she spots an obvious path of puddles, which for some reason don't appear in my scan here. She takes this as a sign. The path eventually splits. She's secretly hoping her soulmate would be at the end of the trail. She chooses to go left. The path stops at a pet shop, and there's a turtle in the window. She declares this as her soulmate or spirit animal, as it is clumsy and loves water. This is the origin of her pet turtle, Leafy. She decides to check the other path, wondering if her soulmate will be at the end. The path stops at a bench. Someone is sitting there. She nervously approaches to find Martin. She's flustered, annoyed, and storms off. The year before Tirani unites as a guardian, her family is scoping out homes in Heatherfield. Tirani is against moving away from Sessimo. Peter's all for it, though. They will have moved from a city surrounded by mountains to this city by the sea. They aren't officially moving for another year, though, and are still home shopping. It's a nice day out, but Tirani feels cold and refuses to remove her jacket. We see a montage of Tirani miserable, while Peter's just enjoying himself. They stop to view a house, and Tirani refuses to leave the car, but is intrigued by a supposedly strange light in the house next door. She approaches. The inside looks welcoming, the fireplace roaring, even though it's warm weather. Tirani approaches the real estate agent that her parents are with, and she is surprised to find out that no one lives next door. They enter. The furniture she saw is now gone, and the fireplace is full of webs. Tirani thinks this place feels familiar, and that soothes her. The real estate agent says this place has been empty since it burned a few years ago. She is shocked. Regardless, since Tirani has removed her coat and looks happy, her Her parents buy this house on the spot. The year before Cornelia unites as a guardian, she is sleeping over Elion's house. They are in trouble over staying up late. As they try to sleep, the wind loudly rustles the leaves. They cannot go to sleep. Elion is scared of the tree knocking. Cornelia enjoys it. Elion then imagines the noise as a crowd cheering her on, but Cornelia starts to actually hear her name. It seems to entrance her. The wind continues to call her, or I guess the leaves rustling specifically, and she is loving it and throws open the window. She goes outside and they begin speaking in sentences, saying, "Welcome, Cornelia. You are finally here. Listen to Earth." Though this part on my paper said listen to Nas. Not sure. Then a portal of leaves form, now saying, "You'll know me. Trust me." Asking her to approach. A door appears. A voice yells at her to stop. Then she opens her eyes and is actually in Elion's house still. Apparently her sleepwalking has happened at home. The door she was drawn to, by the way, was the basement. Remember, a portal was hidden down there. The year before Haylin unites with the Guardians, she isn't paying attention in class and is challenged by the teacher to make a kite. It has something to do with the lesson. The whole class has to make kites. Haylin struggles and Yanlin approaches and tells her to ask the air to help her. She's rightfully confused. Yanlin hands her an ancestral book with kite designs. In the next image, she's holding a beautiful silver dragon kite. The teacher doesn't believe it to be aerodynamic and scolds her for not following the textbook. Haylin throws her kite to the ground, cracking it. As she cries alone in the classroom, her classmates return. The teacher is guilty. Only Haylin's kite could fly. The special ends, showing us the moment Yanlin retrieves the heart of Kandrakar from Kandrakar, a year before the big moment. Not much to say here. The stories were alright. Will's radio frequencies make sense. Irma relying on water as a form of divination makes sense. Tarani's was creepy that a house burned by fire made her comfy. Hopefully nobody died in those fires. And Cornelia was borderline wind related, but I like that the portal of the portal at the Browns' house drew her in. And Haylin's story wasn't quite magical enough for me, I have to say. Final points, the Oracle has lovely eyes in this comic, and I finally got my hands on this mug. That's it for this mini-sode. Catch you later.